Today, we're jumping into a new project. Let's make a dungeon crawler from scratch. I got a lot to show you. To all you've been following me on Twitter, I'm still working on a large series of devlogs to kind of get you caught up on my main game. But in the meantime, I want to keep some content going. So I figured I'd take a project I've recently been thinking about and do a short series on it just to get something out there for you. About a week ago, I wanted to participate in Xanderwood's Game Jam, but I really didn't have the time. The problem was, after that, I kept thinking about this game, and my ideas kept expanding. Till finally I decided, let's jump on and make something of it. I do want to put this out there now. This is not a tutorial series. I will be going over some of my mechanics a little bit more in depth than others, but I will not be showing every bit of code. If there's something out there that you guys are interested in learning about, I can do a tutorial on it, but that's not this series. This series is just strictly my creation of this game. So finally, the fun part. The Game Jam theme was less is more. I had a lot of ideas going through my head, but I mainly stuck to one idea of less of X is equal to more speed. I had tons of different things for what X should be until it finally hit me like a sack of gold. The ending concept is something that I have fallen in love with. The idea is it's a roguelike dungeon crawler where you're playing as a loot goblin. Now, you're running around collecting loot like a loot goblin would, but you're still just a goblin. Gold's heavy, weighs you down. The more loot you have in your bag, which will grow with size, the slower you move. This has this interesting game balance where you're trying to collect as much loot as you can to buy new weapons, buy character progression, and do different things while also trying to stay mobile enough not to die. Now part of that is you can drop your bag. If you leave your bag behind, you have no penalty to your movement. However, your bag can take damage as well, and if an enemy hits your bag or tries to steal from it, you're going to lose your loot. So if you want to drop it for a fight, that's one thing, but don't leave it too unattended, or else you're going to get punished for it. Now besides weapons and upgrades, the loot is also used as your mana. So if you're running around with fireballs or healing tomes, it's great if you want to use them. But the problem is, if you use them too much, you're going to fall behind. The first thing I started on is the level generation. I used rooms or cells starting with room 0. Room 0 creates 4 rooms, one on each side. Then those rooms randomly select an open direction and create another room, and this continues until it hits the generation limit. Then each of those rooms choose a random layout. After that, the furniture randomly generates in those rooms. Seems like a lot of randomness, but this allows me to create an open random dungeon with little work, and save so much time on a small project like this, as well as keep my general scope down, as this is just a side project. I set up a simple state machine for the player and got him running around, added the ability to drop a bag, and off we went. I then went back and got some basic textures on the walls and added a floor. The way I did the floor is I created a very tall floor texture, added a whole bunch of variants to it, and had it match the cell width. When a room creates, it randomly selects the height and draws the floor from there. This creates variation with little effort and still looks amazing. I added in the basic hands and the ability to hold a weapon, but nothing more than that. I wanted to get some of the level generation done right. This is a new technique to me, and something that I kind of worked on myself and I really enjoy. I wanted to make sure it worked well. I hope you enjoyed what I created so far. This isn't my main game, so it's something I'll be working on the side. I'm hoping to have it finished before I get my main game's devlogs out, so probably a week or two and this will be wrapped up. If it's something we really enjoy, I can keep it going and maybe work with you guys on it. If you have any ideas, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.